Christmas is my favorite time of the year. Snow on the ground, those twinkling lights all over town. Carols making that sound, and all of those gifts they passing around. I'm hearing that joyful noise, and all of them girls and boys, they just can't wait for the toys. Wait for the toys. Ho, 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 can't wait for the toys. Christmas is my favorite
time of year.
Christmas is my favorite
Time of year.
Christmas is my favorite
Time of year. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Last night was a terrible night. Sixers lost to the Nets. Tobias Harris was god-awful. Tyrese Maxey didn't get to play in the game with a thigh contusion. Flyers lost in a shootout to a team that went into last night with 6 wins. But hey, I think the Eagles are going to win on Sunday, so that's cool. I did a Farzy in the field yesterday at the Rothman rink there at Dillard Plaza at City Hall, so that was a good time. Everything else kind of sucked. I hit both my bets. That was cool. But everything else kind of sucked. And Derek Gunn's going to join the show. He'll lift our spirits. Love Gunner. He's going to help us break down this Eagles-Washington football team game that we got coming up here Sunday, 1 o'clock. And I'm hoping everything goes well with that. But Gunner will talk to us about all that, help us break it down. Last I checked, 21 COVID protocol listers for the Washington football team. I don't know how they're going to play this game, but apparently they're going to play this game come Sunday, so we'll see how that goes. Good times. But let's start it off with this. Well, we will jump into the Eagles a lot, but this is the number one thing on my mind today, and I really got to get this off my chest. Tobias Harris should not be playing basketball. And I say that with zero venom. All right? I know that a lot of people look at him, and rightfully so. If you're a max contract guy, you should be performing to the max of your abilities on the floor. He can't. And he was a fringe all-star player, as we talked about earlier in the week with our friend Paul Hudrick. He was right there last year, had a really good year last year. Everything looked good last year. This year, not so much. And if you just look at the points total, he's down 1 point from what he was at last year. And that shouldn't really jump out to you as anything unique. Oh, he's down 1 point. That's not a big deal. It doesn't mean that COVID's really got to him, that he's still suffering from it, that he's still suffering from the ill effects of it after he had it and all that. No, but that's without Ben Simmons in this lineup. So you would think he would be one of the guys that would step up. And, Ben Simmons, even a 15-point per game type scorer, you would think Tobias Harris would score even more points without. No, he misses the facilitating of Ben Simmons more than he misses the point scoring of Ben Simmons, obviously. And Tyrese Maxey hasn't been the guy to really distribute, averaging around 5 assists, 4 assists per game. Not exactly there with the 9 or 10 that Ben Simmons might give per game. Plus, Maxey is much more of a scoring threat than Ben Simmons is. So that's a different animal. But you would think with one of your other max guys out, your other max guy would then step up into Tobias Harris, and that hasn't happened. Last night, 3 for 17 from the floor. 3 for 17 from the floor. 0 for 5 from beyond the arc. Overall this season, I was looking at the numbers. He's down 1 point per game, as I told you. He's from 19.5 points to 18.5 points per game. Probably lower than that after last night's game. He is down 10 points in 3-point percentage. 10 points. Was 39% last year. He's at 29% this year. Down 6 points, field goal percentage. So his shot's been off when it comes to the 3-point line, and it also comes to the regular field goal. He's also down 4 points with free throw percentage, just to look at that as well, just to leave no stone unturned. Turnovers around the same. I listened to Tobias Harris after the last game, not this game against the Nets, but after the previous one. And after the Heat. And I listened to him talk about how he still feels like every day he has a cold. That's all I needed to hear. Tobias Harris should not be playing basketball right now. Tobias Harris should shut it down, wait till he's healthy, wait till he's 100%, and then come back. Oh, Mark, but the Sixers are 15-15. Oh, my God. Who cares what the record is right now? I don't care. All I care is that they get into the playoffs. And that's really not even going to be decided until after the All-Star break anyway. So Tobias Harris, if you're not feeling 100%, just sit down. Take it easy. Joel Embiid, you're probably going to want to take some time off too. Go ahead and take some time off. Try to play some home games, though, so that when Sixers fans show up at the Wells Fargo Center, they can actually watch you play. So that'd be cool. But But Tobias Harris, you cannot tell me, should be playing basketball right now, especially with what he said after the Heat game about how he's still experiencing the COVID symptoms and nobody cares about any of it. They just care about how you're performing on the court. You're right. And if you're going to be on the court, I expect you to be at the best possible condition you could possibly be in to play basketball. And he admitted after the Heat game, after, by the way, what was one of his best games of the season, that he's not 100%. And then he goes into last night's game against the Nets, a game you had to win. You didn't. Kevin Durant went off, game high 35 points. I mean, not the 50 points that he scored the other night, but still 34 points. Game high, Joel Embiid, 32. Seth Curry came back. He had 29 for you. Shake Milton started for Maxey. He had 13. Tobias Harris was the missing link there. And it was another game where the Sixers started to get blown out. They fought back late. They actually made a game of it, which was great, which would have been nice if they had the same version of Tobias Harris that they had the previous night. Unfortunately, I don't think it's very possible to get that guy on a consistent basis right now, especially if he's not feeling good. So I say this with zero venom, with no, Tobias Harris sucks. No, I'm saying this in a more in a sense of understanding. Toby, take a break. If you're not 100%, if you're not feeling well, if you're still feeling the ill effects of COVID, I don't want to see you out there on the court. I'd rather, if you got to take a week, you sit in the whirlpool, you get your rest, you sleep it off, whatever you got to do to bounce back from how you're feeling right now, do that. I'd rather you take a week off than continue to watch you struggle on the court the way you've been struggling. 2 nights ago, exception. Last night, no way, man. 3 for 17, 0 for 5 from beyond the arc. A game like that against the Nets, no Harden, no Kyrie, obviously. You got Blake Griffin out there, and you got Kevin Durant. That's the game you should win. And the Sixers did not, obviously, last night. It was another game where they looked like a team that was out of it. Maybe if Maxey plays, maybe it's a different story. But I'm more so going to look at the veteran, max contract Tobias Harris, more so than I'm going to look at the fact that Tyrese Maxey wasn't playing in this game. Because I'll say this about Shake Milton. Serviceable, at least serviceable. Not going to cost you a game, and certainly not going to win you a game. But Tobias Harris should be out there. If he gives you, he was able to give the previous night against the Heat. And Doc Rivers is another one here. How do you not recognize this? Like, the game against the Heat, it matters. Eastern Conference, obviously. But if you got the back-to-back and you already lost to the Nets once, wouldn't you rather try to win against the Nets this time around? And knowing that Toby is less than 100%, give him the night off, and then have him play. If you're gonna have him play in either game, wouldn't you rather have him play against the Nets anyway? It is time for the Sixers to take this out of Tobias Harris's hands and say, hey, man, we still love you. If you're not 100%, you're still feeling sick, you're still feeling fatigued, you're still feeling like you got a cold every day, you sit out. Get your rest. Let us know when you can come back. I know we're already without Ben Simmons, we're already short roster, whatever it is. That doesn't mean that you have to be the one to try to save the rest of the organization. Right now, that's just not in the cards. Take a break. Sit him. That's our poll question today. If you want to hit us up on social media, just have Tobias Harris sit out or continue to play him. What would you do right now if you're the Sixers? I say sit Tobias Harris. If he wants to tell you how he's still feeling ill, still cold every day, all right, man, take a breather. Let us know when you're 100% again, and we'll get you back out there on the court. And that's when we'll start to see the guy that we saw last year. The guy that was, again, threatening to be an all-star for the first time in his career. Would love to see that. I'm pulling for Toby. Love Toby. Can't have the performance that we saw from Toby. I know the guy was just fired, but Elaine Vigneault, man, he had one of the best phrases I've ever heard a coach say. I love the player. I love the person. I need more from the player. And he was talking about Jake Voracek, and I forget who else, maybe Travis Konecny. I love Jake, the person. I need more from the player. I'm like, that's the way to say it. That's the way to say it. And that's what I'm saying about Tobias Harris. Enjoy the hell out of the guy. I'd like to see him play a lot better on the basketball court, which is ultimately, as he even said, what matters most. No one else cares what's going on behind the scenes. Well, I'll tell you this much. If what's going on behind the scenes is making the product on the floor diminish, then you got to take your break. You got to take your breather. You got to make sure you're back at 100%. And you need to take that time. And that's where the Sixers need to take it out of the players' hands and say, take a breather. We'll see you later. That's where I'm at right now with the Sixers. That's where I'm at right now with Tobias Harris. And you know what's going to happen is then Joel Embiid's going to put the weight of the world on his shoulders, and then he's going to go for 120%. He's already trying to play through his abdominal injury. God bless him for that. You got to take it out of his hands, too. Sit this one out. take a breather, take a break. NBA season, as we all know, doesn't really start till after the All-Star game anyway. So why not? Take a couple of take a Christmas break. Is Disney on Ice coming back to the Wells Fargo Center? Is that happening? Well, Disney is Ice is there. You guys take a breather as well. You're fine. That's where I'm at with the Sixers. Bad loss again last night. 114-105 was the final score of that one. Sixers next play the Pelicans on Sunday. So they got a couple of days off. All right. See what happens there. Flyers also lost. What did I say yesterday about the Flyers? You win a couple games in a row. You're feeling good. Don't go up there against the Habaton and lay an egg against the Canadiens. Don't do that. What do? 3-2 shootout loss. Carter Hart comes up with 38 saves in the loss. You got a couple of young, inexperienced. I should say inexperienced. I hate when you look at a new guy that comes up from the minors, whatever. You look at it and he scores and go like, how old is this guy? Like 20 or 21? How old is this young whippersnapper? Oh, 26. Damn it. And you look at 26, like that's my dad's age. You know what I mean? Like he couldn't be older than 26 years old for a prospect. But then what's the kid's name? They got Max Willem come up here. He scores his second goal. Scored a second goal last night. And then you have Jackson Cates come up. He scores his first NHL goal for the Flyers. But still, they get the 3-2 shootout loss. Hopefully, they'll bounce back against the Senators tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. But the Flyers win streak snapped. You know what they got, though? Still got a point streak. Got them point streaks coming for the Philadelphia Flyers. We're all really excited about that. I'll take it at this point with the shootout loss, nonetheless. What else I got for you? Here's what I got. We did a little Farzy in the field at the Rothman rink in Center City, Philadelphia, Dover Plaza. You'll see it a little bit later in the show after we talk to D-Gunn. And I just asked people what's on their Philadelphia sports wish list. What do you most want on your Christmas list, your holiday list, whatever you want to call it? What do you want for this year? I only got one. Trade Ben Simmons. That's all I got. One. Slew of people. Whole bunch of people. I mean, the people that could catch up to me because I was skating so fast because I'm amazing on the ice. Just one. I thought that'd be on the forefront of a lot of people's minds. A lot of hockey talk. I guess as one would expect with me being on ice, most people were talking hockey. So we'll let you hear what the good people of Philadelphia had to say about that. I do have the Eagles winning on Sunday. I'll give you the official prediction at the end of the show. But here's a couple of things that the Eagles have to be aware of. One, they're playing a run defense that's coming off a pretty good run game. Now, I know a lot of people look at it, and it's the Dallas Cowboys, and they're the number one rushing team for the first 7 weeks of the season. They got away from that. They started relying more on Dak Prescott, and then that ended up not working out as well for them. It all started, I think, with that game against the Broncos all of a sudden, where that amazing Dallas run attack was starting to go by the wayside. And really, we saw signs of it even earlier in the season when Ezekiel Elliott started to get outgained by Tony Pollard in the backfield of the Dallas Cowboys. Well, the Cowboys played against Washington last week, and things didn't go that well for them in the run game. They only averaged 3.1 yards per carry against Washington. So if things start to hit the fan, regardless of who the quarterback is for the Eagles, and we'll get to that, they can't abandon the run. Miles Sanders looks like he's playing. Jordan Howard, we'll see what happens there. Boston Scott, Kenny Gainwell, whole thing. They can't abandon the run, no matter who is their running back, no matter who is their quarterback. As we were talking about yesterday with Trey Thomas, take this run offense, take this offensive line, throw it in the face of the defensive line that's banged up with the COVID. Can you even say banged up with COVID? The COVID protocol, right? If that's the issue, dominate the line of scrimmage in this game with your offensive line. You will have the capabilities to do that. So dominate with your offensive line. Do not abandon the run, regardless of what the Washington football team is doing in this game, regardless of who your quarterback is. As for the quarterback, another situation yesterday where Jalen Hurts looks like he's going to be questionable as he was limited in his participation in practice yesterday. It's still going to be a game time decision, it looks like. It looks like there's going to be the same type of situation that the Eagles had prior to the bye week against the New York Jets. I wish that wasn't the case. However, I don't think it's some kind of huge drop-off to go from Jalen Hurts to Gardner Minshew. I think the Eagles are going to win this game, but this one little entertaining scenario popped in my head. What if they play this game? What if Gardner Minshew balls out again in this game and wins you 2 games in a row down the stretch where you have to win, at the very least, of your last 5 games? I know they got 4 left, but of their last 5 entirely. What if you're in a situation where you got to win at least 3 of those, and Gardner Minshew is the guy that already got you 2? Do you already shift gears? This is where I went in the dark recesses of my brain. That's certainly not rooting for any type of real quarterback controversy. But what do you do in that case? Do you stick with the hot hand? I think you got to stick with the hot hand. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But it just popped in my brain yesterday. But we'll see. If Jalen Hurts is able to play in this game, I thought he was going to play against the Jets. That was 2 weeks ago. He seems to be in the same spot that he was with that high ankle sprain. It's supposed to take 2 to 4 weeks to heal. We're in that 2-week marker right now, so we'll see where he's at as far as that goes with 2 weeks off, including the bye week. I hope that he plays. I still think this is his team. But if they win this game with Gardner Minshew, I think it becomes a much bigger question. So we'll see how that plays out. When it comes to the pass defense of this team, this is where they can have some success. Tyler Heinicke comes into this game banged up. Most people know about the knee injury. He also had an elbow injury. He said yesterday during a press conference that he'll be able to play. I think the exact quote I wrote down was, should be fine. That's a vote of confidence right there. Should be fine. Okay. Well, this Eagles pass defense has had a pretty good season when it comes to opposing quarterback rating, when it comes to, believe it or not, getting after the quarterback. Excuse me. What was it? When they are sent with corners, they have a good efficiency in terms of getting after the quarterback when they are sent. And the very rare occasion that they do it, I guess opposing teams are just so shocked that they're sending guys. Now would be a good time to step up and not allow a start like you allowed to Zach Wilson 2 weeks ago prior to the bye week. Fletcher Cox was back practicing. That was a good sign yesterday as well, back to a full participant. Love to see him in the backfield. Same thing with Javon Hargrave. Josh Sweat needs another breakout game. Just keep on having breakout games, and that's how we'll feel a lot better about you. So that's what we'll look at when it comes to the Eagles. Also, this is pretty interesting as well. The pass defense of Washington. And this would go more against a guy like Gardner Minshew or for a guy like Gardner Minshew than it would for Jalen Hurts. But the Washington defense over the last couple of weeks has been one of the worst defenses in the league when it comes to pass defense. They allow an opposing quarterback rating of over 100, 101 as a matter of fact. It's one of the worst in the league. That's something that the Eagles obviously need to exploit as well. Set it up with the run, though. Stick with that run. Establish that run, then air it out. Very simple football. Keep it basic. Against average teams, keep it basic. 6 and 7, pretty average. Eagles are pretty average too. We all know that. But exploit that in the Cowboy, or excuse me, with Washington roster, obviously depleted as we know, up to 21 players. So we'll see how that plays out. Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, my good friend Steven Singer of Steven Singer Jewelers, because just in a second we're going to talk to our friend D-Gunn. Also, Terry McLaurin still in concussion protocol. We'll see if he's able to play. That'll be a huge load off the mind of Darius Slay as that game comes on. So here's where we go. We go to our friend Steven Singer of Steven Singer Jewelers. One place, one price, the perfect price every single time. Last minute holiday shopping? Let's see. 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 days, folks. 8 days to the big day. Christmas! Is your holiday shopping done? If not, head to the other corner of 8th and Walnut. Get taken care of. Get treated like family with the perfect price every single time. And need a diamond stud earrings. Just under $270. Just under $270. Instant happiness when the missus opens up that package. Oh, beautiful, sparkly, near flawless, colorless to the eye. Amazing. Diamond stud earrings. Anita cut diamond stud earrings. My wife has them. She absolutely loves them. Check it out for yourself. Go to Steven Singer Jewelers, the other corner of 8th and Walnut. IHateStevenSinger.com. That's IHateStevenSinger.com. One place, one price, the perfect price every time. Steven Singer Jewelers. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's get more analysis on this Eagles-Washington game with our good friend D-Gunn as he joins us on the Rothman Orthopaedics guest line. Joining us on the Rothman Orthopaedics guest line, my good friend. I work with him now after every Eagles game. You can follow us on the Jacob Media YouTube channel as well as 6abc.com. The Gunfather himself, D-Gunn. What's up, Gunner?
Farzy, how you doing, man?
I'm doing fantastic. Latest episode of Gun on One is you and B Mitch. No, that old Brian Mitchell.
Yeah, man. If you ever want to talk to a guy who doesn't pull punches, he's like the DC version of Seth Joyner. You ask him a question, whether you agree with him or not, he's going to tell you exactly how he sees it, how he thinks it, how he feels it. He talked about his time in Philadelphia, time with the Washington football team. And, and I put him on the spot. I said, so who are you rooting for Sunday? So I don't want to give it away. You got to listen to Gun on One to find out what he thinks about what's going on down there in Washington with the team. Unfortunately, we taped the podcast the day before we find out that the Washington football team's decimated by all this COVID stuff. So we didn't get too much into that. But Brian Mitchell is worth his price in gold. So yeah, you got to listen to it.
Absolutely. He's one of my favorite people ever to come through the city, in all honesty. And I remember one of the things that really stuck out to me, the first time I ever got a chance to talk to him, we talked, and then he said, I got to go get my pedicure. And I go, I'm sorry, what? And he goes, I got to go get a pedicure. I go, seriously? And he goes, hey, man, I'm a professional athlete. My body's my temple. And I go, well, man, you cover it all then. God bless you. Yeah, just a man for all seasons, that Brian Mitchell. So make sure you guys check that out, the latest episode of Gun on One.
Hey, man, let me tell you something. When I first started covering this game in the early 80s, they were just men. They played the game, they showered, they went home. But as the 2000s evolved, what Brian Mitchell did or does is not a rarity. You got a lot of guys now that get pedicures, get manicures, and they all say the same thing. My body is my temple. And I'm still thinking, I can't sit still long enough. You see my nails. This is my version of a manicure.
That's it. You do that at the end? Manicure. Yeah, you gotta do it at the end. Yeah. And then my wife walks in. Why are these nails around here? What is it? Were you clipping your toes again? What did you do now? I'm like, I don't know. I'm not going to tell you. Figure it out. I'll tell you this. My body's a temple. My temple worships Mexican food. And I just piled off a plate of nachos literally before I sat down to interview you, my friend.
There you go.
So are we playing this game? At the time we taped this, we got 21 different Washington football team members that are on the COVID protocol list. What's going on there, Gunner?
Well, I don't know, man. I don't know how they're going to field a team. I mean, 5 of their top 6 defensive linemen are out. And we're still, we're talking about all the players they have in protocol, but what we're missing is, Taylor Heineke is playing on a bum knee. Their number one receiver, who's normally an Eagles killer, Terry McLaurin, is still in concussion protocol. So you add that to the list of decimation, and I don't know what they're going to do. But what the NFL said since this last July. Those teams who cannot play will forfeit the game, and both teams will not get paid for the game.
Wow.
So I'm sure players are all real happy about this scenario right now. And of course, Washington is one of 7 teams that are in what they're calling the enhanced protocol, COVID protocol, which means, all hands on deck because we've got players dropping like flies. Look at Cleveland's got a big game coming up Saturday. Mm-hmm. No Baker Mayfield, no Jarvis Landry. Are you kidding me? And that's a big game for them for jockeying for playoff positioning. Mm-hmm. Imagine Washington not being able to play this game. They already concede defeat before they play the game against the Eagles team, which means they no longer control that 7th playoff spot. Is it fair? Whether it's fair or unfair, the league told us before the season began, our goal is to play a 17-game schedule within a span of 18 weeks. That's it. And if your players are not vaccinated, if you can't play the game, you forfeit the game, so be it. And now you look at basically there's 23, 24 out of 32 teams still very much in the playoff picture. And now teams could possibly lose games because they have to forfeit. It's unheard of in the history of pro football. It is, but so is COVID unheard of in the history of pro football.
Right. Just real quick, that was list of decimation. Is that what I never heard that before.
List of decimation. See, when D-Gunn speaks, only D-Gunn understands what D-Gunn is saying. So
no, I just never heard of it. I mean, that sounds like a terrible time. A list of decimation. That things have gone bad, my friend.
Yes.
Now, as far as the Eagles go, remember that the Eagles. Jalen Hurts limited at practice.
Right.
Splitting reps the day before. Looks like another game time decision type deal. What would D-Gunn do in this scenario? If Jalen Hurts is healthy, he starts. Or you say, no, it's too close to an injury anyway. It's Gardner Minshew's time. How would D-Gunn handle this?
If Jalen Hurts is deemed healthy, you play him. This is his show. The evaluation continues in terms of that front office deciding how comfortable or uncomfortable they're going to be with him, not just this season, but beyond this season as well. But when you're talking about an ankle sprain like he has, the recovery time is usually 2 to 4 weeks. Okay, so he missed one game. He sat out the bye week like everybody else. So that's 2 weeks. So now he's on that teeter-totter. Is it strong enough for him to play that third week? You know, if any way, shape, or form the trainers and the doctors feel, you know, he can't utilize one of his biggest assets to the best of his advantage, which is his legs, you have to sit him. And then it's the Gardner Minshew all over again. It's another week of who should Gardner Minshew play or not? No, Gardner Minshew is a backup. There's a reason he's a backup. Jalen Hurts should finish out what he started this season. But, you know, it makes for great conversation on radio, TV, and across all social media platforms. Plain and simple, the bottom line is when Jalen Hurts is healthy enough to play, Jalen Hurts should be playing football for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah, you know where else it makes great conversation? On the live post-game show. That's where it makes great conversation. Hey, look at you.
I don't want to brag or anything, but you know that guy on the left of that picture, man. I heard he's a good dude. He's pretty smooth.
Yeah,
you know, he's like the modern day John Shaft. Who is the man?
Shaft. Can you dig it?
His neck for a brother, man. Shaft.
He's a bad mother. Watch your mouth. Anyway, I know. We have fun. When it comes to everything else,
or we need mental help.
That too. That wouldn't hurt. That wouldn't hurt. How many wins do you think it's going to take? You have a slew of NFC teams right now that have the 6-7 record, just like the Eagles have the 6-7 record. And I was laughing at last week when usually when it says, here are your division winners most likely, here are your wild cards most likely, and then in the hunt. In the hunt is usually like 3 teams. Last week it was 7. So when you talk about those teams in the hunt, how many wins do you think it's going to take for the Eagles to get to the playoffs as a wild card team?
Wow, they have 6 now. I would say at least 9. They have to win at least
3 or 4.
These last 4. You know, at least 3 of these last 4 they have to win. You know, and when you look at it right now, the Eagles and Washington are 2 of 5 teams that are tied for 6-7 records in the NFC. The Eagles' biggest concern is what's Minnesota and San Francisco going to do. They already own a tiebreaker with Atlanta and Carolina. But Minnesota and San Francisco are the factors. Obviously, they lose the tiebreakers at San Francisco. So, you know, they're going to need some help along the way, you know, and both Minnesota and San Francisco have been the epitome of Jekyll and Hyde all season long. You know, just when you think they're going to turn the corner, all of a sudden they resort back to finding ways to lose football games again. You know, they both have talent enough to have much better records, but as we've seen in this crazy 2021, any and everything is possible each and every week. There is no sure bet. When you look at a lot of the upsets that have occurred, you look at the abundance of players that have fallen by the wayside, and now you look at how many players and teams are going to be affected by this outburst of COVID this particular week. It's going to upset a lot of apple carts in terms of the betting lines and in terms of teams going into certain games that you felt that might win those games. Now those games became a little bit or a lot more even than they should be.
Do you see the Eagles winning 3 or 4? Do you see the Eagles winning out? Do you see that last game even being a factor in the last game of the season for the Dallas Cowboys? How do you see this playing out for the Eagles?
Well, if they get this mulligan against Washington, that's a win. They should beat the Giants next week. Daniel Jones has been out for 3 games now. Even with him back in there, they have that game here at Lincoln Financial Field. They should get that win. The rematch in Washington is going to be a key because if all of those players who are out this game are healthy, they are going to be ticked off. Ron Rivera and his crew are going to be ticked off. And, you know, Washington's offensively, they don't score a lot of points. They're averaging like 20 points a game. Defensively, they're like a dog chomping on raw meat. They don't give up many points, you know, so that's going to be a knockdown, drag-out fight that can go either way. So that's going to be hard to pick. Now, the Dallas game is a tricky one. Now, we're all assuming Dallas, number one, should have the division locked up by then. But more importantly, they could still be in contention for jockeying for higher seeding,
right,
or trying to avoid a lower seeding. So that game will have significance when they come here to play. And if that Cowboys defense plays the rest of the way it played his last game, they're going to be a tough team to knock out because that defense, that kid Micah Parsons, he's like the Energizer Bunny, man.
Damn.
Not only should he be the Rookie of the Year, he should be the Defensive Player of the Year as well. That kid sets the tone for that Dallas defense. And man, the way they played, they finally got healthy on defense, got their pieces back. They kept coming and coming and coming. If that's how they're going to play the rest of the season, I feel sorry for a lot of quarterbacks. Quarterbacks should be on the phone with their agents and insurance companies right now. Hey, can you increase my life insurance policy, please?
I had our mutual friend Hugh Douglas on the show Tuesday, and he compared Parsons to Brian Dawkins in the idea that you put him on the field, he'll do anything for you and can do anything for you. 5-tool player type deal.
Yes, you put him anywhere. He can line up over the tight end. You rush him from the outside. You can put him down, put his hands down in the dirt. You can put him in the middle. You have to know where he is at all times. We always talk about how, hey, certain players, you got to know where they are at all times. You need to know if this guy's sitting on the bench. That's what you do not. You should have instead of a spot, you need to have a designated player who you know is not going to get in the game. Here's your job. You have a headset, and you let us know where Michael Parsons is at all times. If he gets a box of popcorn, I don't care if you see him get his fingers taping up. If he's sitting on the bench in front of a heater, you let us know at all times. That's your job. We might even give you a bonus, $50,000 bonus after the game if you do your job pretty well.
If he goes in the blue medical tent, we're giving you a doctor's outfit.
Yes, you go in let us know. You go in there with him. Take your uniform off and sneak in and tell us what's going on with him.
Last thing for you, brother. I know I asked you about the overall rest of the season. This game, do you see the Eagles getting this win, however it might come against Washington? If
they play this game, the Eagles should have this game over by halftime. I'm 99% confident that the Eagles should blow this team out, considering Washington has 21 players out and counting. We don't know. There could be more. It's only Thursday. Could be more Friday and Saturday. We don't know. But they should blow this team out. But there's that small fraction of a percentage that just sticks in the back of my mind. This is a division game. Ron Rivera is the defensive coordinator, is the head coach, not only the head coach, but the defensive mastermind on that team over there. Yeah. I guarantee he's going to try to find a way to slow them down. Eagles still lead the league in rushing, but Washington's defense is number 5 in the league against the run, giving up 94 yards a game. When you say, well, you know what? We already smoked the number 1 rush defense and the number 6 rush defense. Yes. But sometimes the laws of averages catch up to you. I hope it's not this week. I hope Terry McLaurin doesn't play. I hope Taylor Heineke is playing with a crutch so they can get to him a lot quicker. Make this game as easy as possible. I'm confident. If I was a betting man, I'd bet every Monopoly dollar I own that the Eagles smoke this team. But that's why I'm not a betting man, because you just don't know week in and week out in this league.
Who's your next guest for Gun on One? You just had Brian Mitchell. Who's next?
Well, I'm going to have my man Brandon Graham on next week.
A must listen.
I said, BG, I need you on so we can talk about what happens after this Washington game. So, he gives me grief all the time. D-Gunn, why you want me? I said, look, man, don't make me call your wife. Don't make me do it. You're going to do it anyway. Just might as well concede it and say you're going to do it. So he did. He just laughed and did it. So I'll have him on next week.
Very nice. Derek Gunn, always a pleasure. I missed the hell out of you last week, that damn bye week. Look forward to talking to you after the Eagles get a win over the Washington football team this Sunday on the Jacob Media YouTube channel as well as 6abc.com.
I know, man, but it was fun to sit back and watch some games, just to watch football.
Yeah.
And it's a rarity that we get during the season, especially now that we do the Jacob Media postgame show. It's a rarity, but I enjoyed it immensely, man, except for the fact we had 3 dogs barking, grandson running around, tearing up stuff, but you make it work the best way you can.
I actually had a drink on Sunday. I never drink on Sundays because
really?
we got a show to do. Yeah. And nice little Jack Daniels, man. Enjoyed myself a little bit. Yeah.
Did you drink some of that vodka? That's always one of the sponsors.
No, that's still very much. That's still very much a prop. That's still very much a prop. At the end of the season, I'm driving to Delaware. I'm going to find you. Yeah, I'm going to give you some vodka.
Hey, look, I only see 1 bottle. Normally, there's like 4 or 5 bottles on the shelf. What happened to the other 3?
I'm not picking up the 7 bottles that are down there.
What happened to the other 3, man?
They're right here. I'm not going to pick them all up.
Okay, I'm just checking. Man. Hey, look, see, don't get testy. I'm just checking with you.
I need a drink now. I'll tell you that much. There you go. Gunner, you're the man. People. Gunner, always great catching up with you, my friend. I'll talk to you on Sunday after the Eagles victory. The great Derek Gunn. Listen to him, Gun on One podcast with a slew of other media outlets. This man's covering it all. Thanks, Gunner.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Anytime, bro.
The Gun father himself, Derek Gunn, joining us on the Rothman Orthopaedics guest line. I saw some people mentioning it in the chat, and I didn't forget.
Thank you to the Godfather. Thank you for the Godfather for coming on the show.
There we go. I actually tried playing that for Gunner, the Gunfather himself, and for whatever reason, it wouldn't work. And I took three different takes, and then I just tried it again this morning, and it works perfectly. Missed opportunities. Between that and the Penguin, I'm Carrot Top now. I just prop comedy. Anyway, thanks to Derek Gunn for joining us on the Rothman Orthopaedics guest line. Much appreciated. Let me tell you about Rothman Orthopaedics, ladies and gentlemen. As a matter of fact, I found out I got that pinched nerve in my neck thanks to Rothman. Yeah, they're working with me now. A little physical therapy. There we go. Physical therapy. When you have orthopedic issues, you need a physician who eats, sleeps, and breathes orthopedics. Nobody does more than orthopedics than Rothman Orthopaedics, because you need an exceptionally specialized Rothman Orthopaedics physician. They not only specialize in orthopedics, but each of their physicians only focuses in on one area of the body, which means you can get past the pain and be confident to get back to being you. Learn more at RothmanOrtho.com. That's RothmanOrtho.com. Rothman Orthopaedics, the official orthopedic partner of your Phillies, Eagles, and Sixers. How about the amazing people at BetQL? Oh, this is fantastic. Use BetQL to help me with my WinView app, as a matter of fact. So it helped me out last night. Here's how BetQL helped me out. Took a look at some of the over-unders on some player props, and I hit them on both. Thank you very much. In the football and in the basketball world. Download the BetQL app right now, and you can make the smart bets. Their best bets computer model scans over 350,000 unique bets per year to give you the best bet recommendation for every game across all major sports, and they give you the reasoning behind why you should place that bet. Their model covers everything from point spreads, over-unders, player props, and everything. If you don't want to use their model and prefer to do your own research, BetQL has all the necessary tools for your betting research needs. Everything from sharp data, line movement, team summaries, lineups, injuries, breaking news, even a leaderboard to track all your success, and you'll have a lot of it when you use BetQL. Head to the App Store now or Google Play Store and download the BetQL app. How about the amazing people of WinView, the only game where fans can take on other fans and end the debate once and for all? Who's the biggest sports fan? Here's what I did last night. Here's why WinView is so great. Who I'm playing in fantasy, I had Patrick Mahomes as my starting quarterback all year. He hasn't had his best year, all right? However, I was like, let me do this. Instead of waiting to win in the playoffs, let me just win right now with Patrick Mahomes. So I bet the over 2.5 touchdowns on the WinView app. Bada boom, bada bing. He had 3 touchdown passes last night in their overtime win over the Chargers. So thanks, WinView. I get to cash out now as opposed to just waiting to the end of the season to win out some money on Patrick Mahomes. So I doubled down essentially on Patrick Mahomes, and it worked out well for me, thanks to the great people of WinView. Also had Joel Embiid's over last night, only 25.5 for Joel Embiid over. Click. I ended up taking that. Thank you, WinView. I hit on that as well. So play during a quarter of Monday Night Football, play some basketball, and while you're tracking all the games on Sunday, you can see what players are killing it for your team against the other league members in your WinView contest. It's not just a sports book. It's not just daily fantasy. It's a social gaming app where fans can take on other fans and win real money prizes for making predictions on the games that you love. So download the WinView app. Let me tell you about the amazing people of BHL Sports Nation. That's Philadelphia Sports Nation, enhancing your Philadelphia sports fan experience across all social media and blogs. So all the stuff going on in Philadelphia sports, Ben Simmons, Flyers drama, Eagles drama, all that you can follow on PHLSportsNation.com. Philadelphia Sports Nation. And speaking of all that drama, ladies and gentlemen, why not make it a little bit more dramatic? Why not do it on ice? That's right. Our latest Farzy in the Field installment comes courtesy of the great people of Rothman Orthopaedics, who sponsor the Rothman Rink, the ice skating rink. I was on there when it was a roller rink in the summer. Boom, I was back there yesterday. Now it's an ice skating rink for the winter at Dilworth Plaza at City Hall. And I took to the ice. Talk to the good people of Philadelphia about what was on their Philadelphia sports wish list. And that is in this week's edition of Farzy in the Field.
Now the moment everyone waits for, everyone loves, the moment when I have to step on the ice for the first time, and I know you're all rooting for me to fall. Not gonna happen this time. The last time I was out here, that bachelorette party took me down. Not happening this time, I promise you. Here we go. Moment of truth. Off to a great start. Here we go. Freshly Zamboni'd. My man, how's it going?
Not bad, how are you?
You say I saw the hoodie there. St. Joe's baseball.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll ask you your sports Christmas list here. What do you most want for holiday season?
We won a St. Joe's National Championship.
Found some more sports fans. All right, what is on your Christmas list this year in the Philadelphia sports world?
Flyers jersey and a Flyers win, please.
Okay, how about you?
Ooh, Flyers jersey.
Did he make you say that?
Maybe.
All right, what's on your sports wish list this holiday season?
I want the Flyers to win the cup.
All right, I got another one here. I don't know if you can tell, but this guy is a Philadelphia sports fan.
all right.
Yeah, a little bit. What, you have Eagle socks on or something?
He does.
Oh my goodness! That was unscripted. Unscripted. What do you most want for the holidays?
Right now, I think I'd like to see Joel Embiid bring us a championship. It's around Bryce Harper with some little bit of free agency. Let's get a good team going. And of course, well, this weekend the Eagles are going to beat the Washington football team.
There we go. All right, found another sports fan. Man, what's your name?
Jordan,
Jordan. Okay, first, what's on your wish list?
I need Kyler Murray to win that MVP this season.
Kyler Murray. Why do you care about Kyler Murray?
He's an Arizona quarterback.
Oh, you're an Arizona fan.
Yeah, Cardinals.
It's a marshmallow world in the winter when the snow comes and covers the ground. So I think I found my favorite people here at the rink. Look at this right there. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. Huh? Very nice. What would you most want for the holiday season?
EAGLES in the playoff, of course.
Okay, Eagles in the playoffs. That's a good one. How about you?
Eagles in the playoffs and a ticket to go see them. Yes, a ticket. We want tickets.
You want tickets?
We want tickets.
They want tickets. Well,
Tickets.
ladies,
Somebody out there, you must have extra tickets.
ladies, guess what? Today is your lucky day because, just kidding, I don't have tickets. Sorry.
For Temple to have a successful football season next season.
Ben Simmons be traded.
Okay, what's acceptable in a Ben Simmons trade?
Damian Lillard, hopefully.
Okay, all right, guys, I'm really excited because I found one of my favorite Flyers of all time. He looks a lot different in person. Ladies and gentlemen, Eric Lindros. What's up, Eric? You look great. What's on your sports holiday wish list? What do you guys most want?
I want the Flyers to go on a 20-game win streak and us to beat the football team in both games.
Union to win the next playoffs.
It's all in good fun, folks. It's all in good fun. Thank you, everyone who stopped and talked to me for a second there at the Rothman rink at Dilworth Plaza. We had ourselves a good time. And how about Eric Lindros? He's shrunk. He's not as big as he used to be. That's amazing. Anyway, thanks to Rothman. It's funny, like when I reach out to a sponsor or whatever, they're like, hey, I want to do this at the rink. They're like, okay. We'll let you do it. We'll let you do it. But thanks to everyone that I was able to catch up with yesterday. A lot of fun out there. And I do love ice skating. I saw somebody, was it Mally? Somebody say, why? Oh, yeah, Mally. Why do them skates look brand new? Mally, I got those ice skates probably 8th grade. No, 7th grade. Because that's when I started playing a lot of hockey with my buddies. Not like actual hockey, like roller hockey. Like we used to play, I think I've mentioned this before, like Burpee Park in Doylestown, where I grew up. We played there all the time. And I think I got those ice skates around that same time. And I played one game of pond hockey on those ice skates. And it was at a neighbor's pond that actually froze over. And we could actually play hockey on it. And yeah, it's a whole different ball of wax, man. That's a whole different ball of wax. So that was a good time. Those skates are, at least 20 years old. Damn, I'm old. Anyway, thanks again. Let's jump in now to our chat check, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody's favorite time for the show, chat check. And we got our, what else do we got? We got our morning rush coming up. Brought to you by Sky Motor Cars, and my final prediction, my official prediction on this game coming up this weekend. April, good morning to you. Good morning, Derek Gunn. Good morning, John Cheeseburger. Oh, Gunner. What's up, John? Dan, how are you? This is just for John. What did they say when they won the Super Bowl with the Broncos for John? This one's for John.
Christmas is my favorite time of the year. Still on the ground. Those kids are in like
All right, that's enough. Enough of the props. I'm a prop comic. I don't do bits. Anyway, Farzy and Gunner, like you guys cleaned up 80s HBO late night film. What? Feel like you guys would have cleaned up in an 80s HBO late night film. I see what you're saying. All right. Good morning from Kensington. Good morning, Dan. I saw the picture you tweeted of the graffiti wall you're cleaning up, man. You're doing God's work, my friend. April, Farzy, did you bring the penguin to the field? No, I did not. Although I didn't know this, they have penguins. I just didn't know how to incorporate a twerking penguin with those penguins. Felt that would have been weird. But they have little penguins that if you don't know how to skate, you can hold on to them. So you're not this guy on the ice. That guy. My brother's that guy when he ice skates. That's a fun story for another day. Anyway, Brett, good morning to you. Brad, what's going on? JD, what's popping? Sean, good morning. Who else do we have? Craig, are we there? We're there, I believe, with Ragerisms, Tobyisms. Toby should be delivering for Amazon. Tobias Harris should be demonstrating how the floor models work at Best Buy. Very nice. Tobias Harris should be making those apology calls from the utility company, those angry sounding calls. These are all John Cheeseborough with Tobyisms. Since Farzy said Tobias Harris should not be playing basketball, we're going to say what he should be doing instead. Tobias should be making those extended warranty calls that nobody answers. There you go, John. I'm a sucker. I got to admit to you guys, I'm a sucker. The phone rings and I look at it and it's like a number I don't know. And I'm like, oh, what if it's someone who really needs help, but I don't know their number? And I answer. And there's that pause. I go, hi, this is Mark. And they go, hi, this is the dealership calling about your extended warranty. And I'm like, you know what? I should pick that up as a side hustle. I could be that guy making that call. I could be that recording. Mark, Mally, what's up, buddy? Ray, what's popping? That's the problem. You have nobody able to take Harris's place. That is the problem, unfortunately. You're kind of thin right now. Christmas is my favorite time of year. Is it my imagination or the athletes are supposed to be better trained today in all sports are more injured than there was 10 to 20 years ago? Ray, no, you're not. It's not your imagination at all. And look, you have guys, it's crazy. You have the guys that are injury prone, and then you have the guys that just say to hell with it. And that's what Trey was talking about yesterday when he was talking about Jason Kelce. It's not that Jason Kelce is never injured. It's that he just says to hell with it. And some guys try to weigh the balance of what's my future going to be like versus right now. And they say, all right, I don't want this to be, I want to be able to walk without a limp when I'm 60. You know what I'm saying? And one thing, whenever they show like the older football players coming back on the field, for whatever reason, they're always limping. Like, out here is Oldie McGillicuddy. And Oldie McGillicuddy, he's limping like that. Like that guy, nobody wants to be that guy, but that tends to be what happens. Mally, ever since Marc committed homicide on that Fox 29 remote control, he don't really move his hands anymore. Unbeknownst to me, I will work on that. Odds are I'll get right back to talking with my hands soon. T-Bro, Farzy, stay away from those dark recesses in your brain just because you got an emo shirt on. It was still the Jets, and it's a JV football team. I don't disagree. I get you. If I could, would you? Business casual Farzy today. Only one button undone today. It's Friday. I should. No. This is the plunging neckline. Like, look at the button spacing. Look at the button spacing. Look at that. Do you want that? Do you want that right now? Because I'll do it. I'll do it right now. No, not going to do it. But look at that. Is that not wrong? Like, look at that. A lot going on there. That's heavy cleavage, folks. It's a family program. Dan, I don't really think it matters between Gardner Minshew and Jalen Hurts versus Washington. I see what you did there. And I agree. I don't think it's that much of a drop-off anyway. Brett, you're a diamond stud, Farzy. Thanks, Brett. The second button is like... If I could, would you? Is that Spanish? I assume that's Spanish. If I could, would you? The second button is like Libertad. I think I said that right. Libertad. Yes. T-Bro, good morning to you. Gunner! T-Bro with the fire and the popcorn. One of the very best. D-Gunn. D-Gunn is one of the best. Gunn has swag. You're damn right, Ben Timmons. Gunner has a lot of swag. Who got the better shine on their dome? Gunner or Farzy? Mally, that's a great question. It appears to go back and forth, but I think Gunner wins the shinier bald head category. Gunner. Michael Shane. Is that how you say that? Hey, all podcast listener who has COVID and is now home here for the chat the next few days. Sorry to hear you got COVID there, Michael. Hope it's a quick recovery, my friend. But welcome to the show. Welcome to the show, and thank you for listening to the podcast. Ben Timmons, bald is beautiful. You're damn right it is. Michael, welcome. Everyone, welcome to Michael. Everyone's so cool in the chat. Today is Ugly Sweater Day. I did not know that. Taco Bell, home of the... John Cheeseborough, Taco Bell, home of the mud bud. Excuse me. Home of the mud butt. Nobody likes that. What buffing pad does Marc use on that dome? Shiny today. Is it shiny? Is it extra shiny today? Huh. Let's see. 3D, third person D-Gunn. Ooh, I love when Derek Gunn talks in the third person. Shaft was a great movie. My buddy Andy Campbell loved the movie Shaft and would often sing it. It was good. Farzy and the Gunfather. What's up, Fuji? Gunner and I had a lot of fun working together, man. Gunner would every once in a while, slow news day, me, him, and Barrett. We used to sit right in the same area, and every once in a while, Gunner would just go off about his youth, and really amazing youth, like a kid growing up in Wisconsin and all that stuff. We would catch up, and he would just tell stories, man. You know, a lot of personal stuff, so I don't want to, get into it too much. But just he's a guy I could just sit and listen to. Like I could offer, and I already offer very little. But like a car trip, good to go. Gunner, tell me about your childhood. 4 hours later, we're in New York. New York. Jeez, Mary Joseph. We're in California. Sniff those Eagles socks from a mile away. Dante, when you said this about the feet, Farsy's a feet guy, I was like, damn it, I got another foot shot coming up here later. And it was the lady with the things on her skates. And I did not know that man had socks on. Although he's the brother-in-law. It turns out he's the brother-in-law of a guy I went to high school with, my buddy Chris Jones. What's up, Jonesy? Farzy did them dirty. Oh, the fake tickets? Yeah, come on, you have to. Plus, I think they were onto my BS from the get-go, so I know I wasn't letting them down too bad. Ladies, you're lucky. Kidding, I don't have tickets for you, but I did unbutton my top button. That was the non-edited version. Thank you, Dan Schwartz. Wait, you brought your own Fars? And they kept them there years? Huh? Farzy name dropping Burpee Park. I'll give Burpee Park a shout out. I gave Nuts Plus a shout out a couple of weeks ago. Nuts Plus, man. Big feet at young age. Now I know why Mrs. Farzy married you. Thank you. Oh, you're talking about my skate size. Yeah. I posted a picture of those skates years ago. I want to say like 4 or 5 years ago. And somebody told me, hey, burn them. Those skates suck. Like, those are Bowers, bro. I was going to get them sharpened by Nasty, man, and see if he would sharpen my skates. Nasty, of course, the Nasty Knuckles podcast. He'll do it. I'm sure he'll do it. How did April get lumped into this? What are we doing here? April, I can rock some quads at the roller rink, though. Good for you, April. But you can't ice skate. All right, here's the story. I'll give you the story. Yeah, I got time for this. So my brother's older than me. My brother's 3 years older than me. And when he was like a freshman in high school, maybe a sophomore in high school, he had a girlfriend, and he went out on his first date. Not like his first date with this girl, but his first date ever. And my mom said to me, your brother's going ice skating. He must, I don't know, was he 15? I was 12. Your brother's going ice skating tonight with his friend. Do you want to go? And I'm like, hell yeah, I'll go ice skating. Yeah. not knowing I was totally, you know what, blocking my brother. But anyway, so the girl's family came to the house to pick us up, my brother and his little brother. And they pick us up in their minivan. This is such a suburban story. They pick us up in their minivan and they take us to York Road. It's Ice World now or something. I'm totally blanking on it. What was the original name of this place? But Face Off Circle. And we go, and my brother, who I knew could not ice skate worth a damn, but I could. So my brother tells this story where I'm going around like an Olympic speed skater. And my brother's doing this whenever he tells this story. And I'm going around and around in the circles. Meanwhile, my brother is that guy that I told you about already, who's on the is on the rink, like grabbing it to skate, like he just to stay on his ice for balance, right? And the girl, his girlfriend at the time, this girl that he took out for this date, was Canadian. Do I need to say more? As I'm skating around, she finally abandons my brother, who's there helpless on this other thing, shaking. He's scared death, like falling and hitting his head or something. And she's out there doing a triple sow cow, triple toe loop, landing it perfectly, Nancy Kerrigan style. The Katarina Pitt, whatever her name is, Chrissy Yamaguchi. She's like that, and my brother's and I'm the Dan Johnson fella going around in circles, having myself a good time. So anyway, that was my brother's first ever date. Did I freeze? Am I frozen? What the hell's with that? Whatever. Well, you guys missed some great pantomiming, let me tell you. Face Off Circle. Thank you, T-Bro. You see it. Anyway, wait, what the hell? What's going on here? Oh, people are giving me the predictions. No, Dan, it wouldn't bother me if people flock to the show. Giving people what they want. Do it. You want it? All right, folks, don't challenge me. I'll do the show topless. Wow, people really are calling for me to unbutton the butt. Dude, I don't give a damn. Boom. There you go, folks. What did I say yesterday? Sports talk just got a whole lot sexier. There we go. Okay, I like these scores. I like these scores a lot. April, I know. Nothing like showing up your brother on a first date. Not only did you blank block your brother, you stole his girl. And they broke up like a month later. A month when you're a sophomore is like a 10-year relationship. My wife is loving this. One more. My wife. You guys are awesome. Thanks everyone that checked in our chat. Whoa, that is really, I wasn't kidding, folks. That is graphic. This is an R rating. We're going to get flagged by YouTube. There you go. Thanks everyone that checked in our chat. Much appreciated. Let's get into our morning rush brought to you by Sky Motorcars, SkyMotorcars.com, and our official Eagles prediction. Like I told you, Sixers, they lost last night 114-105. Back at it to Sunday against the Pelicans, 8 o'clock tip-off in South Philadelphia. Flyers 3-2 shootout losers to the Canadiens. The Habitants, they play the Senators coming up at 7 o'clock tomorrow night. Hopefully they'll have a better outcome as far as that goes. No fans, by the way, in case you didn't see that. No fans were at the game last night in Montreal because of COVID outbreak in Montreal. So nobody was going there. There you go. I keep the chest hair kempt. All right? Kempt. Yeah. Pete, good morning to you as well. Ronald, good morning. T-Bro, I got you. What's going on, everybody? And then finally, ladies and gentlemen, Eagles, Washington football team. Getting it underway Sunday, 1 o'clock. Here's what I got for you. The Philadelphia Eagles will win this game on Sunday by a score of 31-17. 31-17. How will Washington get 17 points? It's just going to be one of those things where to hell with it. It's a divisional game and you can't explain it. 31-17. Eagles take the win. That's what I got for you. Hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. My thanks to Jim Hyden, who produced the program. This is a Buzz Sports and Entertainment production. And my thanks to our social media squad. Nick, Ellis, Brendan, You guys are fantastic. Billy, appreciate all the hustle. You guys really do a great job with this show, and I appreciate it greatly. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening, everybody. Have a great weekend. Go Birds, everybody. Go Birds. Take it easy, guys. See you guys on Monday. See ya.